The following program is brought to you by Naleo TV, the people's platform.
On the next episode of Polymer Play with me, Barbara Hanson, we are going to be learning how to make a palm frond and trunk so you can use them on clocks or anything else. You better stay tuned. Aloha! Time for another episode of Polymer Play with me, Barbara Hanson. Today we're going to be building a clock, but before we build the clock, I have to teach you how to make the frond and the trunk. So let's dive right into it and make some clay. All right, so I've got some different shades of green that I've already sheeted out. I mix all my colors with a dough sheeter back there. You can see that on other episodes. So I'm going to start by making the center dot. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. I've got my one taper. You know me and my tapering. Makes it easier when I roll it together. Okay, so I'm going to roll this up into a tube. And I think it'd be cool to have all these different shades of green in there. Okay. I've got the beginning, taper it off. Oh, but use the right side of the blade. Luckily this one's kind of dull. Okay. Okay. Give it a little. I want to squeeze it all together, get the air out of it. Make sure that it's nice and tight in there. Okay. Boop, boop. Got our ends off. Oh, I love this. See when I'm mixing the colors, and it just has that soft, gentle little swirl going on in there? Oh, it's pretty. It's like spearmint. Okay. Next, I'm going to go into this color. Ooh. Trying to cut the weird stuff off the edge. You always want a clean edge. Okay, when I'm gonna go around, I need a flat. Wow, I nailed that one. Okay, so see how that is? I'm going to roll it up. And hopefully, yes, gosh, I love it when it works like that. It's funny when you're doing these, you have all these little games that you're playing with yourself to try and make things perfect, or at least I do. But I'm also well aware that not everything is perfection. Okay, so get these two to meet up. Yeah, okay, flip it to the other side. Get them to meet up. I love green. Green and yellow are my two favorite colors. Okay. All right. Got that. Now we're going to add a couple. Actually, this is what happens. I know what I want to do, and then I see something different as I start. So follow your instincts, because it might be something even better that you didn't even know you could do. And that's what just happened to me. Okay, I'm going to slice into this a couple times. And I'm going to insert. I just had a really cool vision. I think what I'm going to do is roll this down and stack it back together. And I think it'd just be cool to have a couple little lines like this in there. Yeah, if you ever do come up here and take a class with me, I changed my mind quite a few times along the way. You see different things. Okay. Cut down there. that. And taper this. Throw that in there. Okay. I love polymer clay. I know you will too. It's very addicting. Every time I'm done with something, I go, oh, next time I want to try this. You know, that's just how it works. Okay. Got that. I'm going to put one more in. Then we're going to add the dark green all the way around. Whoops. I seem to be a blade flipper today. Here we go. Right. Let's get that there. So the palm frond, I use it for a lot of different things, not just a palm frond. I could use it like as a feather on a bird, or to back up some cool flower petals or something. Okay. Actually, no, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to do this. And we want to, as we wrap it, we want to make sure we have it all the way around. So get rid of that because that's funky. And if it doesn't go all the way, then we have a good teaching moment. Oh, but it does. But if we didn't, we could have cut part of this and inserted it in there. Never fret. There's always an answer. We've got a way out here. So today I'm wearing my clock clogs. Try and say that 5 times. Clog, 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 clog. All right, we've got this going. So now we've checked both sides. It looks good. Our table's clean. We're gonna give this a pull. This is how you get your workout. So I'm actually squeezing as I pull. And it's funny because it feels really tight and doesn't want to move. And then all of a sudden it gets the ability to move. It's like the heat goes all the way through it. And it's so exciting. You can see how it's going. So I'm trying not to push. I don't want to squeeze the outside off. When you're pulling them down, it's really from the inside out. Okay. Yeah, I like this. That's fun. Even it out a little. Give it in. Yeah. This is when I usually have Daryl in helping me. I don't pull down rolls that much anymore. It'll be 40 years this fall. Crazy. Planning something fun. You're gonna see it on Naleo TV. Okay. We're getting there. Okay, now it's getting so long that I'm going to cut my ends and cut it down the center and keep going. So our goal here, just so you know what's happening, is you can look at these different, there's some different palm fronds there that I made. And I'm pulling this down because I'm going to stack a whole bunch of them up and form it into a triangle and then pull them down again. We're getting there. See, this is the sweet spot. It's just like, isn't that amazing? It's kind of magical. Okay. So I want this other one to match. Space a little bit. Or actually, I could probably work. I'll just work with this piece. Okay. Okay, now what we're going to do, when you want to half it, the best thing to do is to make sure your ends are clean. Go right down the center. Okay. It's okay if it's not perfect. Half it this way. keep the blade down. That seems to be my reoccurring problem today. I had one lady that took a little piece of nail polish and did it on the top so she didn't cut her finger. This blade's a little dull, so I'm not really worried about that. Okay. I'm going to get it down to here. Okay, now we're talking. We're going to be able to... Wow, look at that. Did you see what I just did? Excellent. They all match. I love that. You know, you got to take all those awards that pop up in your day that make you feel good. Okay. So, now we've got all these little guys. I want these little line things to be going up. So I'm going to build this like this. Hopefully we have the perfect number, which I think we will since things are very serendipitous today. Okay. And go up here. Okay, I think that will work. I could add more. You can add as many or as few as you want. And sometimes I add in, like if I have several of the ends of rolls, you could stack them all together and make a creative kind of a petal like that. This particular petal, I only use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's no right or wrong. This one, I just did 2 rows. So you're open. It's your art. You do it the way you want to do. I'm just showing you possibilities. Okay, so we're going to take this. Oh, this is going to be cool. I like those little things. Oh, wow. Okay. Teaching moment. See this side? Okay, I'm going to hold my finger where the top of that is. See this side? It's over here. So we need to twist that back. Sometimes that's what happens when you roll it. It twists. So you want to be careful not to. I mean, it really wouldn't matter, but except for to me. Okay. Now these are kind of funky to pull down because they're a weird shape, right? A circle, pretty easy. A square, you can press and rotate. Triangle, you've got to really, like, I use that part of my the pocket of that for the for the top of it. Okay, we're getting there. You know, it's funny when you get to see all the things put together. You know, you realize how much work goes into each piece, right? I'm just cutting slices and putting them on, but you don't know about all the hours it takes to get there. Okay, so we're getting this down. It's coming down nicely. I'm going to go a little bit further, and then we're going to jump into our clock. Okay. So, yeah, that's pretty. Okay, there you go. I'm happy with that. Okay. The next thing I need to do, actually, before I do the clock, is I had made this roll. You've got bronze, then silver, then gold, then black, sheeted around. Okay, I'm going to take a little piece of that. I'm going to whip out a trunk here for you. Ooh. See when you see cracky like that? We don't like cracky like that. Okay. So I'm just going to take this and cut it into segments. And then go a little bit smaller. Go a little bit smaller. You know why I'm doing that? Because the bottom of the trunk is bigger than the top of the trunk. So, okay, we're going to do 2 more. These would also make cool coconuts for the tree. You do that too. Possibilities are endless. Play with clay. Okay, so we've got this, right? And we're going to kind of push it down. Give it a little... I kind of like that you can see the indentations because it's more tree-like. Oh yeah, that's cool. Okay, we did that. All right. Now, to do the clock, I use plexiglass because plexiglass and polymer clay are both plastics. And so when you cook it, you don't need any glue, which is awesome. You can have these laser cut at award centers. I've got a person that cuts for me. You can have any shape made. Okay, I have my sheet of clay. The red comes like this. I added a little bit of purple to darken it up. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to smooth it. I'm going to do a cut that goes around like this. It's not perfect, but it's getting me close. And then, okay, so it's kind of, you've got this going on. Okay, make sure you've got it smooth to the edge. Try not to have any bubbles in there. We don't want bubbles. I'm going to take the sharp part of the blade, and I'm just going to follow the line, go around. Make a nice clean edge, okay? So, just a little bit of past information on clocks. This number's going to sound insane, but I've made over 15,000 clocks. 15,000, not 1,500. Back in the day, I had a studio in Honolulu. And this is really funny. We had what we called the Hall of Pain. And if you wanted to go in the backyard, out to the back bathroom, in the narrow hall, it was all covered with nails because we would have hundreds and hundreds of clocks. And then the order would go out and we'd be like, no, it's the Hall of Pain. Anyhow, little old history. Okay, we've got a nice smooth background. So now I can take my palm tree. Boy, we had a lot of fun in that place in Honolulu. Okay, so now I'm going to do 2 little trunks. So I'll go one that way. And take one this way. Okay. Cute. Okay, I'm looking at this. I think that's about the right size. A tiny bit smaller. So when you're pushing these smaller, you're squeezing it in as you're pulling it. It's kind of, it's weird at first, I'll just say that. But once you do it, you're like, oh, okay. So I'm going to cut 10, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10. I can still count. Oh, I love those. Okay. So I start in the center. You can do this any way you want, obviously. It's your clock. What a cool gift this is, right? Okay, actually, I'm going to wait to put the rest of those on because I want to show you something. Okay, I don't want to cover the hole, but I like them overlapping, so I'm going to do that. This one, I could either cut, at the edge. I could wrap it. I'm going to slice it off because I like a clean edge. So I'll take my blade and just take that off. Okay, there we go. I'm going to put this one this way. The reason why I waited for this one is since our Pele is going off so radically, we're going to make a volcanic clock. This roll was, oh my God, it was huge when I made it. It was like a 60-hour tube. But that's another day. Okay. You can see the different colors of in the rock and the lava. So I'm putting this here because I wanted that first because I was thinking that this might overlap. That's why. Okay. So I've got that. You don't want to push them on until you're there, because if you push them on, it's really hard to pull them off and have it still look good. So now we've got to figure out what we want to do for our flowers. And I've got some different options here. I think I want to do our classic plumeria since it is my favorite. But I might add in a little, maybe that's too pink. I'm going to stay classic on this guy. Okay, so I'm going to cut my flowers. You do any size you want. Some people say, oh, your flowers are not proportionate. Well, whatever, it's art. This is what I like, and this is what I'm doing. So there. And you can say the same thing to anybody who says anything to you about what you make. Oh, if you feel good, it's right. That's how that goes. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna take some of our little runner petroglyphs, and I'm gonna have them running from Pele, running away. They don't want to do anything to upset her. So here's a petroglyph. Yeah, we should do some petroglyphs one of these times. That's fun. Okay, we'll do 2 little people. Here they go. They're out of here. Okay, 1 and 2. Okay, here we go. Oh, we need coconuts. You can use whatever you want for coconuts. I'm just going to use that because it matches. Cut up some of these guys. Again, you're rolling your tube as you do it. I started talking and stopped counting. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Maybe this guy could have 4. Whatever, mix it up. The most important thing when you're stacking like this is when you order your mechanism, you want to make sure that the shaft is high enough that it clears whatever it is that you're doing. This is a high one. This is a lower one. And if these were stacked too high, then the hand would hit it as you're going. No point. Okay. So now we'll throw a couple little turtles underneath. And I think we have enough time for me to make one more with the pink hotel. Okay. Ready? I've got 1. These honus are out of here. Bye-bye. They're like, thank you. We love you. Couple of starfish. That's on its way. Okay, I also had prepped a heart-shaped. Okay, there you go. Bam. Clock. Okay. That's a cutie. That's a cutie patootie. That's my dog would say. Okay. Now, the shape clocks are a little trickier. I know I've got, let's see. My gallery used to be in the Pink Hotel, the Inaba Kona Hotel in Honolulu. And I was in there for 5 years. Now I'm next to the post office. But when I built this roll, my gallery was in there. It's very dear to my heart. Let's make this a little smaller. All right. I love that spot. I love all spots. Actually, I love this spot. Okay, so do 3. I'm gonna do 1. This is definitely not to scale. Okay, we've got 3 different coconut trees. And this a little smaller version. So I'm gonna pull this down a hair. So the other thing that I use these palm fronds for, it's a super cute earring if you just do something like that. But I can use it on the top of a pineapple, under a collage of flowers, bird wings, bird feathers. Okay, I'm counting. I usually counting. Okay, so I'm gonna follow the contour of the heart. Again, I had this laser cut. I'm always a fan of hearts. My grandpa's birthday was on Valentine's Day, so hearts are very dear to my heart. Okay, get a little funky with that one. Whoop, bring it down a little bit. Okay. Yep, talking and not counting. I need 3 more. I really hope you guys try to do some of these projects. It's so fun. Do it with your kids, with your friends. Okay. Oh, look how happy that is. All right. That's good. Okay, this time I'm going to add, when I do my flowers, I want to pull the pink, so I'm going to add a little pink. And pull this guy down a little bit. So I think you can order clock mechanisms pretty much online anywhere. And as I said, just make sure you have a high enough shaft. And I'm so bad with numbers, I don't know what I use, but you can figure it out. Also depends on how thick your plexiglass is. But when you cook these, you want to, when you take them out of the oven, put something like a towel over them so that they hold the heat. It seems to make them stronger. You don't want anything that's going to fall apart. We've worked too hard to have things fall apart, I'll tell you. Okay, I'm doing a little mix of color here. I'm staying away from that hole because there's a metal washer that goes in there, and I don't want to overlap that. I don't want it to cut into the clay. It won't get a super tight seal. Okay, we've got that going on. Okay, we could throw in a little. Here's a little Aloha shirt I did. Look how tiny that is. How cute. Yep, the guy went for a swim and he left his shirt under the tree. Oh, so cute. Okay, make a couple of these and a couple of these. So the sky's the limit, right? That's the cool thing about time, spending time making these, is you can't just sit down, right, bust this out, because that took time, that's a day, that, you know. And so I think when you start, at first you're just experimenting, but when you really start to explore what it is you want to make, then what you could, then you start, I don't like that. See, good thing I didn't push them on. I don't like that either. Okay. You can start accumulating all the different canes that you need to create whatever it is you want to make. I don't know why, but I guess it's just too big. So that's my problem. It's like, that's the Kapuna turtle. It's like, yeah. Go this way. And make sure as you're storing all your tubes that you make, you don't want to put them in plastic containers because plastic on plastic will melt together. You can use cabinet wax paper, something like that. And it's a dust magnet, I tell you. So you want to be careful for that. Coconuts. All right. So you could also, I've made like big wall scenes with this type of a format. Coconuts, and we're done. Ready? We need 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You guys get some polymer clay. Go play. It's time to play with polymer clay. Oh gosh. Now you're getting a little silly Barbara humor here. Okay. All right. What did we do today? We made a frond. We made a trunk. We made some clocks. Life is good. Go out and play with clay. It'll make you happy. Bye.